How's it going, everybody? I wanted to do a quick demonstration of how to install and get VRR Gamemode up and running. I had to do a fresh install of Pop! OS on my laptop, swap some hard drives and stuff around. So I'm reconfiguring everything from scratch for the sake of the channel and everything. And I wanted to show what it is, how it works, and how to enable it in your titles. So let's hit Google real quick. Gamemode. Okay, so here we go. GitHub. So essentially, what it does is it switches your CPU governor to a higher performance one. But by default, it could be depending on how the OS is set up by default. The distribution is set up by default. It could be on a number of different governors. See, like right now, mine is on balance, which is probably set to something like on demand or something like that. Well, this right here, we'll switch it into like performance, the performance governor, which lights up all your CPU cores and bumps the CPU clocks to max in order to make sure that you're getting the best performance. As you can see here, it's a daemon and lib combo for Linux that allows games to request a set of optimizations that can be temporarily applied to the host OS and or game process, which is more or less what I kind of just described. For us deb package users, you can get the latest typically from your distro. I'm using Pop! OS, and it is in the package repositories already. Let me see, apt search. Damn, I can't type. Gamemode. And as you can see here, right here in the middle, you have the library, and we got the library, the thing, and then when you install it, it pulls in everything that you need. I'm not sure how other distributions work. You may need to hit this GitHub page and pull it in yourself. I see that the one in the Pop! OS repository, or this may even be the Ubuntu repository, I haven't double checked, is already at 1.5, which is the latest, I believe. Check to hit the releases on this. Oh, they have 1.5.1 that was released a couple of days ago. Minor changes. Use a preferred logging system rather than default logging system. Prefer the system initialization of in. Oh well, whatever it is. Either way, I know 1.5 is solid. I've used it for a while, so we're just going to install that. Sudo apt install Gamemode. And it's going to pull in all the packages that are needed, which is all three of these. And boom, we are done. Now, what I like to do to have a visual indicator that it actually activated and that I didn't fat finger something is I like to install and set up the GNOME extension, which will put a little controller icon right here in the top right corner. So let's do that as well. Extensions.gnome.org. Oh yeah, I got to install the browser extension for this thing. So let's go ahead and add this to Chromium. Boom. Okay, so that works. Let's refresh this page here. And then we'll just search for Gamemode. Boom, it pops up right away. Okay, and we'll just turn this on, and it'll ask to install. We go yes, and boom, it is installed. Now, in order to make it show here, the only way that I'm aware of is to use GNOME tweaks in order to make it pop up. I think I have that installed already. Yes, I do. So you can use GNOME tweaks. Go to this extensions tab over here. You can scroll. Oh, it is enabled. It's enabled, but it isn't set to display in the indicator up there. So we'll hit this, and we'll hit always show the icon, and we'll activate the tint. I love watching it turn green when I start a game. You know, the visual indicator. I may turn off the notification because it will pop up right here in the center when you get a game going and says, hey, game mode is turned on. But for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to leave all three of these checked. So let's hop over here to Steam, start something up, and we'll hop over to Steam, start something up, and then you'll be able to watch this icon go green and then the notification pop. Now, if you watched any of my previous videos, you know that you have to actually manually trigger it in the command line options, which is easy enough to do. Damn, did I click on Steam? I must not have. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's pick something. What is installed and ready to go? I just did Doom. We can do Doom again. This is pretty easy. Being that this is on the laptop, it has a different set of hardware than my main rig. This is a PowerSpec 1520, which is a Micro Center brand laptop. It's actually a Clevo. I think it's a, don't get me the line, I think it's a PB50F-G or something like that. Has a 8750H. I've upgraded it to 32 gigs of RAM. It has a mobile RTX 2070, some SSDs. It's capable of doing G-Sync and all this other kind of stuff. So let's go to properties and see which version it is running. So we go to launch options, and yes, I have it already in here. Probably because I copied my profile over from my last install, and if you copy the right files, it'll keep all of this stuff. But you essentially have to put Gamemode run, which will trigger this, and then %, which will then start the game the way that Steam natively starts the game, which is not by like triggering the exe. It actually does some other ID type of stuff. But either way, this is what you need. So let's go OK. I've heard that Proton 3.16 is the best for the Doom 2016, so we'll leave that checked. We'll close and we'll hit play. And since it's the first time starting on this machine, it's doing the exact same thing it would do on Windows. It's installing the prerequisites for the game to work. And these cloud files are from today, so let's pull those down. No, not today, a couple of days ago. Boom, there it is. Game mode is active. Computer performance is now optimized for playing games. And you have the green icon up here in the top. So it is live and it's working. The window should pop here in any minute now. Oh, it's showing on the laptop display. Let me adjust the volume real quick and then we'll move that over. Oh man, it crashed. That ain't good. Okay, so we won't report this. What I'll do is I'll go in here and uncheck this. and let it use whatever it's going to use by default, and then we'll start it again. That was embarrassing. Okay, play. Let's get it. And as you can see, it activated again. For whatever reason, it keeps activating on this other screen over here, which is pretty freaking odd, but that's okay. I should be able to hop in the game and then swap it over. Where this has to be settings right here. Yep. Man, I can't see anything. I'm getting a message. It'll be all right. Okay. Monitor 1 default. 2540 2560 1440, and yes, boom, there we go. Okay, now let me switch to window capture so we can get the most performance out of this thing. That will do it. We'll swap back in game. Boom, there we go. All right, just like the other video, you can see I have motion blur off, chromatic aberration off because I don't like it. It is using Vulkan. You can see that it's using the 2070, 8 gigs of RAM, yada yada yada. Okay, all of these are exactly the same. That's one thing I do like about this particular title, is that it, when it copies your profile, it like brings all your settings over too, which is dope. So let's continue this game, and then you'll be able to compare the performance between the main rig and this laptop with the 2070. Yeah, as you can see, it's bumping right up against the frame rate limiter. I mean the screen refresh rate, the display refresh rate. So, I just noticed that OBS isn't capturing this, which is kind of silly because it should. Okay, we'll go back to screen capture. It's a little slower, but it'll work. There we go. Yeah, that certainly affects the smoothness of the frame rate. It's actually a little stuttery and slow. You can actually see it in the frame time graphs too, which is wild. Huh, that's funny. I'll have to look into that later. I know what I do. Bear with me. Let me try this again. Let me switch to another scene. Remove that. Add window capture. And we'll go to boom. Okay, that may work. Now let's try to, there we go. Okay, I have to lock it in. So let's resume. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is much better. Much better. As you can see, it's bumping right up against the refresh rate. So let's do what we did in the other video and disable VSync. And we'll see. Dude, I know. I'll help you figure out your freaking problem. Give me a minute, all right? This is only bumping up to, looks like 150 something FPS. So it's not pushing same amount of frames that the tower rig is with the Radeon and the 5700 XT and the 3900X, but it's still not a slouch for performance, as you can see. I mean, that technically does have half the cores and half the threads, but the GPU is supposed to be quote unquote better according to the NVIDIA heads. So, oops, missed. Whoa. Sit down. You too. There he is. Where'd he go? Oh, I missed. Boom. Got him. Whoa. I'm low on health. Okay. Oh, man, they got me. Damn, I'm rusty. Anyway, that's how you enable Get Feral game mode. So that's going to be it for this video, folks. Catch you on the next one. Peace.